Hey! Hey! Welcome back to the Stardew Valley Expanded series. Before we do anything else, I want to do a quick recap of the previous episode. We played through the entirety of spring and it went pretty well, I would say. We made around 50 quality sprinklers so we don't have to water any of our crops manually anymore. We had a barn, a coop and a pond added to the farm. And on top of that, we also threw the legend fish into that pond. We upgraded both the axe and the pickaxe to iron quality. We reached floor 120 in the mines and essentially completed that whole area. And we have made decent progress on the community center. Alongside the Stardew Valley Expanded mod, a few other mods are being used. You can find a list of these mods in the description of this video. I will also write a little bit about each mod in case you haven't seen the first episode and you don't know what a certain mod does. Anywhomst, that's enough preamble ramble. Let's get started with day 29, aka the first day of summer. Marlin is here on day 29. He tells us to pop into the Adventurers Guild as Gil would like to speak to us about something. How mysterious. The orange tree near the coop has started producing, well, oranges, so I grab one. I donate a fiddlehead fern, the orange, a piece of cloth, and a grape. A little kerfuffle is occurring in the town centre. Andy is tremendously upset about something. He mentions he can barely afford to keep his farm running as it is, so that makes me think new taxes are being introduced. He is very against these taxes. Yeah, I'm with Andy on this one. Honestly, I wish taxes were just a meme. Mayor Lewis confirms that the Ferngul government is indeed introducing new regulations. Listen, if they've got a problem with farmers, then they've got a problem with me, and I suggest they let that one marinate. I consider spending all of my money on blueberry seeds, but I opted for mixed seeds instead. 147 of them to be exact. I doubt we'll make as much money from them as we would have made from blueberry or melon seeds, but I'm alright with that. I plant and water all of my seeds, then I do a bit of foraging inside the secret woods. Fiddlehead ferns, 4-leaf clovers, mushrooms are all added to our inventory. I also find red baneberry. I do even more foraging in the big forest before heading to the community center for the second time today. I donate a spiceberry, a sweet pea, and a red baneberry to complete the summer foraging bundle. The 30 summer seeds I received for doing this are all planted and watered. One more thing before the day ends. The nectarine tree has started producing nectarine. Day 30 begins with a visit from Emily. She tells us all about how we can use cloth to make different types of clothing. All we need is a sewing machine and she is very kindly allowing us to use the one inside our house. I don't think I will ever actually use it, but I appreciate this all the same. Salal berries and a Georgia veggie have been acquired for the first time in this playthrough. The Georgia veggie is worth like 1,000 gold, I believe, but what I really want to focus on here is the salal berries. This crop is my absolute favorite thing to use for energy. They also function the same as strawberry seeds in the sense that you can harvest salal berries from a salal berry seed multiple times. The sooner I make a seed maker, the better, as I really want to have a bunch of these growing here on the farm. I check on the mushroom cave. We've already got more than 30 mushrooms inside the chest here. The sale of these, along with a few other items, should give our bank account a nice little boost. I donate a nectarine and a poison mushroom, then I pay a visit to Clinton. I have him crack open mystery boxes and geodes, which results in me getting a beach warp totem and a farm warp totem. Unfortunately, the geodes only give me items that I've already donated to the museum. I check out the clearance bin inside Georgia Mart. You know, I was expecting the items that are being sold here to be, like, at least not expensive, maybe not necessarily cheap, but not the price they are. It is a clearance bin after all. But most of the things inside here have been too expensive to justify buying. I mean, look at this. I would feel like I had been properly swindled if I paid 180 gold for a single corn seed. I use all of my money to buy 98 butternut squash seeds. I need one of these for the community center, along with another 5 gold star versions of this crop for the community center too. And I would imagine they sell for a decent amount of gold considering they take 12 days to grow, which I believe is the same length of time it takes for a melon to grow. I plant and water all of them before teleporting to the beach. As it is summer, we have the opportunity to catch some new fish that we didn't see during spring. And in general, fishing during summer can be very, very profitable. So the remainder of the day is spent fishing here at the beach. Susan is here on day 31. The boulder up in the north has finally been removed, which means she is once again able to come into town. I enter the little cave on the farm and I collect some iron ore, copper ore, and a frozen geode. This isn't a bad place, I really should come in here more often. I spend a bit of time in the mines, defeating monsters and collecting copper ore and stone. The controversy surrounding the big boulder that was removed last night has only grown stronger, it seems. Mira Lewis and Morris are having a heated conversation about the whole thing. Apparently Robin's house was struck by debris when the boulder was removed last night, and Susan wasn't even told about it being removed until the very last second. Also, as if it couldn't get any worse, apparently Georgia has been dumping their trash into the river here in town, which of course is a big deal and should not be happening. What does Morris have to say about these very legitimate and very serious concerns? Well, of course he pulls out a very corporate response and basically says, yeah, well, I don't care because we're not doing anything illegal. You know what I think? Now just bear with me here, I think that we should have the option to slide tackle Morris during this cutscene. I receive a prize ticket from Robin and I trade 3 tickets for 3 mystery boxes, a star drop tea, and a new bed. A rainbow shell has been acquired at the beach. I don't know why, but I always get excited when I find these things. Bubbles have appeared at the beach, so you already know I had to partake in some fishing shenanigans. And by some, I mean a lot, as even more bubbles appeared in a different spot later in the day. At around 11 PM, I believe it is time for us to catch our second legendary fish. The crimson fish. I cast my rod into the water. The crimson fish appears, and it absolutely destroys me. I catch as many other fish as I can, mainly super cucumber, to cheer myself up. But I would be lying if I said that my encounter with the crimson fish wasn't incredibly humbling. Nevertheless, I know what to expect now. There is no way I will be defeated by this fish again. Right, bad news, I was in fact defeated by this fish again. I don't remember the crimson fish ever being this difficult to catch. Have I just lost my touch? Is that what's happened here? This isn't the best way to end the day, but we'll bounce back. Somehow, some way, I will catch this fish. Day 32 begins with a realization. I need to catch a sturgeon for the community center. I, surprisingly enough, end up catching it first try at the mountain lake. Alright, well, I wasn't expecting it to be that easy, but I mean, okay, I'll take it. I certainly won't complain about this. Bubbles have once again appeared at the beach. Unfortunately, they disappear as quickly as they showed up. Just like the sturgeon, I also have to get my hands on a puffer fish. It takes significantly more time for this fish to show up than the sturgeon, but eventually it does, and I'm able to catch it with no hassle. I spend all of my money on bait, and while I'm here, I might as well see what William has to offer us. He is now selling what looks like every single fish that is needed for the community center, at least vanilla Stardew Valley Community Center. That's kind of funny actually. The everyone sells everything mod lets you buy everything you need for every fishing bundle. I won't be buying them, but that's good to know. The fish smoker crafting recipe, I've made the realization that I can't say the word smoker properly if it's beside the word fish. It just isn't possible for me to do. The smoker crafting recipe did catch my eye though, I will say. I am going to save up enough money to buy that crafting recipe, make 3 or 4 smokers, and then smoke as many fish as I can get my hands on. The bubbles are being extraordinarily kind to me. Believe me when I say I truly do appreciate how often they have been popping up here at the beach during the last 2 days. The remainder of the day is spent fishing. I hit level 10 in fishing, which means fish are now worth 50% more gold. A green mist has descended upon the valley on day 33. I cannot stress how much I love this weather. It is so immensely satisfying clearing away all of the weeds and getting moss and fiber and seeds. I can't get too carried away with excitement though, as I do have chickens to look after. When they have been taken care of, I then resume my escapades, clearing away all of the weeds in the forest. I chop down a green tree thing to get fiddlehead fern, then I use the moss I've collected to make deluxe bait. There are so many trees here that it looked like something out of a horror movie. I do a teeny bit of fishing, collect more moss and fiber, and complete a quest or 2 or 3 to get a prize ticket. The remainder of the day is spent collecting copious amounts of fiber, moss, and mixed seeds. Hot peppers, wheat, and hay have just been harvested on day 34, and we're only just getting started as we have just collected our first jar of aged Legend Row 2. As if it couldn't get any better, I have found a big brown egg inside the coop. What an absolutely marvelous morning. I enter Marnie's house, give her a cave carrot, and buy 5 pieces of hay from her. I send a parsnip to Lewis to earn yet another ticket and trade both of them for 4 preserve jars and a pomegranate tree sapling. I sell the legend row for a delicious 5,000 gold, then I decide to sell the pomegranate sapling too. Considering how many fruit tree saplings are already growing on the farm, I'm willing to bet that a pomegranate tree is in there somewhere. If it isn't, then yeah, that's going to be an issue in the future, but I feel confident in assuming that there is one. I do a bit of fishing on Sheerwater Bridge where I discover something a bit interesting. A new legendary fish can be caught here. Unsurprisingly, I was not able to catch it and I left the area shortly afterwards. I was not expecting that, dare I even say it left me feeling perplexed. I am in dire need of a pick-me-up, so I ask Robin to add a second pond to the farm. The crimson fish will be tossed into this pond. That is, if I can actually, catch the crimson fish. It wasn't even close the last time I attempted to, but hopefully things will be different the next time we try. I donate a butterfish, a pufferfish, a red snapper, a tilapia, a tuna, and a sturgeon along with 10 pieces of wheat, 10 pieces of hay, an egg, and a hot pepper. Donating such a large quantity of items has given me quite the motivational boost, and so I head to the beach, cast my rod into the water, and once again fail to catch the crimson fish. I even ate escargot to get a +2 boost to our fishing level. I was beginning to very strongly doubt my fishing abilities when out of nowhere I managed to catch it. I don't know how I did it, but it's done. More than anything else, I just feel relief right now. I was legitimately terrified it would take me the entirety of summer to catch that one. I continue fishing for the rest of the day. I place 4 more preserve jars beside the pond on day 35. I collect a big white egg from the coop and I also leave out some hay for the chickens. I should clarify, I only do this on rainy days because the chickens can leave the coop and eat the grass outside on sunny days. I need cave jelly in order to make smokers. I mean, I haven't actually bought the crafting recipe for the smoker yet, but I figure I should just get the jelly anyway. It also gives me the chance to catch lava eels. These are very valuable fish. If we smoke just one of these, it will sell for over 3,000 gold, I'm pretty sure. By the time I leave the mines, I've got 4 cave jelly and 3 lava eels. To say I am satisfied with this would be a massive understatement. I am over the moon if you couldn't tell from the absolute sheer excitement in my voice. That being said, if we even want to use the smokers, we will need coal, and a lot of it. So I head back into the mines for the rest of the day. Multiple new crappie whoppies have been harvested on day 36. Nothing too exciting, but we do need some of them for the community center. Summer forage has also been harvested and turned into 60 summer seeds. I'm still determined to reach level 10 in all skills by, we'll say, day 80 at the latest, so planting and harvesting these is a necessity. I toss the crimson fish into the pond. The row it produces alongside the legend row may end up being a nice moneymaker for us. We shall see. I've got enough hardwood, cave, river and sea jelly to make 4 smokers, so after a quick visit to Clinton and Pierre, I buy the crafting recipe for this wonderful piece of machinery. I plop all 4 down and I toss 3 lava eels into them. That right there is just under 10,000 gold secured. We've basically already made back the money we spent on the crafting recipe. When the lava eels have been smoked, I decide to bring my smokers back to the farm. I place a chest beside them and load that chest with coal and the many fish I have caught since summer began, and I let it do its thing. I've got over 50 mixed seeds, so I plant these. Best case scenario, we get some more salal berries from them. Once again, the remainder of the day is spent fishing at the beach. A grand total of 41,000 gold was made from the smoked fish I tossed into the shipping bin, along with 3 normal super cucumber and 6 flounder that I accidentally threw in too. Oops. Gustavo has paid us a visit on the morning of day 37. He had me feeling a bit nervous for a moment with what he was saying, talking about how, when a new person shows up in Pelican Town, nobody knows how it's going to go, and there's a good chance they won't get along with the villagers here. But then he does a complete 180 and says that isn't what's happened here at all. He's glad we moved here and is happy to see that we're getting along with the rest of the villagers. That was a bit of a scallywag maneuver there, Gus. I was about to start crying. He gives me the mini jukebox, an absolutely marvelous piece of technology. One thing that has always been difficult for me in Stardew Valley is selling anything other than fish. I always want to keep everything so I can give it to someone as a gift like I'm doing here with the peppers. I just can't help but feel like I'll need an item as soon as I've sold it. I replant the persimmon sapling I accidentally chopped down some time ago before selling 11,000 gold worth of items. We now have over 50,000 gold. I think that's the most amount of gold we've had on hand during this entire playthrough so far. That money doesn't last very long, however, as I've donated 42,500 gold in order to complete the vault room bundles. Our second room has been completed. Only 4 more left to go. A poppy, a sunflower, and a big white egg have also been donated. I buy 50 coal, which shall be used for smoking purposes with fish, and I ask Clinton to break open some mystery boxes and geodes. Warp totems, life elixirs, golden pumpkins, mixed seeds are all added to our inventory. I continue working on the museum collection, then I remember that Gil wants to talk to me. I enter the Adventurers Guild and I find out that Gil is able to repair the minecart system on the farm. All he needs in return is 24 copper bars and 24 iron bars. That sounds like a lot, I won't lie, but I'll do it. Of course I'll do it, I want to have minecarts on my farm. I toss a jade into a crystallarium and I add coal to the chest beside the smokers. I have found a meteor on the far left side of the farm. As much as I want to, I can't break it right now as I need a golden pickaxe to do that. You know, I was more than happy with having just an iron pickaxe this entire time, but now I really want to upgrade it so I can break that meteor and see what's in the area behind it. The Junimos repair the bus during the night and we made over 21,000 gold. I send my pickaxe to Clinton on day 38. We should receive a beautiful golden pickaxe on day 40. Maru's birthday is today, so I send her a cauliflower. Yeah, at this point, the mail services mod is officially on the same level as the automate mod for me. Both of these mods make the game so much more enjoyable for me. I mean, the game is already a 10 out of 10 by itself, but these two mods bump it up to an 11 out of 10. It is time for us to make a tree farm. I plant 10 each of the 5 different saplings I have. Oak, pine, maple, birch, and fir. The birch and the fir trees are new additions to the Stardew Valley Expanded mod, so I'm curious to see what they'll produce when I place tappers on them. Of course, we have to wait until they have fully grown before we can do that, so I've taken the liberty of sprinkling tree fertilizer on every sapling to speed up that process. In other news, I have asked Marnie to add some cows to the barn. Please give a warm welcome to Kenneth, Liam, and Martin. I ask Robin to upgrade the coop, say hello to our new cows, and spend the rest of the day chopping down trees. The luau takes place on day 39. I toss a gold star cauliflower into the soup and socialize with the villagers. I really don't want to end up focusing specifically on improving my friendship with them in the future, so I'm doing my best to work on everyone's friendship as we progress through the early stages of the game. There's not much to be said about the rest of this day. Me adding the cauliflower to the soup got the best reaction from the governor, which means I earned some bonus friendship points with the villagers here. I have a bit of a soft spot for this festival, I must say. It's a nice break from the hustle and bustle of every other day. I have received my golden pickaxe on the morning of day 40. I donate a tomato, then I waste no time in getting rid of the meteor I spotted on the farm a couple of days ago. It drops iridium ore and a prismatic shard. I chop down the logs that were blocking the entrance to the old run-down shed, then I break a log that was in front of a tree. The tree has bags of money growing on it, so I guess it's a money tree? That's cool. I've placed a chest beside this tree so the bags of money will be deposited into it. I enter the shed and a short cutscene plays. My farmer just looks very confused, it's like he's never seen a shed before. I buy a bus ticket and I make my way to the desert for the first time. I grab some coconuts and cactus fruit as I make my way to the southern area of the desert. After around 20 or 30 seconds of walking, I reach my destination. I step into the middle of this thing and I exchange my prismatic shard for the galaxy sword. I'm feeling mighty confident thanks to my new weapon, golden pickaxe, and salal berries. So confident in fact that I venture into the skull caverns. My goal here is simple: reach floor 25. If I can do that, then I will receive 10,000 gold in the mail on day 42. Going through the Skull Caverinos is something that I've grown to love. Well, no, not love, that's a bit too much. I've grown to enjoy it, not love it. I used to be terrified of this place, but now I just find it fun. It's nice collecting dozens of copper, iron, gold, and iridium ore and finding a valuable item inside a treasure chest. I made over 6,000 gold from the sale of 3 money bags and 2 aged crimson fish roe. Robin is here on the morning of day 41. She is somehow aware that we went inside the shed yesterday and she wants us to accompany her to it. She's going to figure out if she can possibly repair it for us. It turns out she can. She does need a few items before she can get started on it though. Before we find out what those items are, let's read a letter, shall we? Mr. Key has challenged us to make the floor 25 in the Skull Caverns. We already did that last night, so he will send us some money tomorrow. I grab my furnaces from the mines, donate a coconut and a cactus fruit, and visit Robin. She bestows 2 crafting recipes upon us. One for the flute block and one for the drum block. That was very kind of you, Robin, thank you. Following that, we talk about the shed. She needs 150 hardwood, 600 pieces of stone, 50 iron bars, and 20 battery packs. My goodness. I mean, I'm gonna get those things because I want that shed to be repaired, but that's going to be a lot of work. I'm not really looking forward to this. You know what? No. I'm not going to be pessimistic. I look forward to conquering this challenge. I buy 10 corn seeds and 25 melon seeds in Georgia Mart. I need 5 gold star corn and melons for the community center, hence me buying these. I spend the rest of my money on coal. I make more furnaces and I plop them down near the smokers. This area shall be our smelting station, for lack of a better term, until I get a shed in the future and more than likely move all of these machines inside there. For now, it's nice having everything close by the house. Once again, I spend the day in the Skull Caverns. I picked up a pair of genie shoes on the first floor. That is a good find. I return to the farm just before midnight and make 20 lightning rods and 4 quality sprinklers. I place the lightning rods down before going to sleep. Mr. Key has sent us 10,000 gold on the morning of day 42. I've just realized something. There's been a very big trend of me getting 10,000, 20,000, 30, 40, even 50,000 gold and then spending all of it within a day or two, sometimes even less time. I think it might be time for me to admit that it's literally impossible for me to save money in this game, at least before the end of the first year, if not like midway through year 2. Anyway, I make a seed maker and place it in our smelting station area. I toss salal into it so we can get started on growing what will hopefully become dozens of salal plants at a time. A joja berry has also been harvested. These are incredibly valuable. They sell for anywhere between 700 gold and 1,200 gold, depending on the quality. On top of that, they function the same as strawberry and salal seeds. I've decided I won't be selling any joja berries for some time. They'll be going into the seed maker along with the salal berries. I place quality fertilizer down before planting corn and melon seeds on top of it. This should ensure that we get all 5 gold star melons and corn we need. I toss more salal into the seed maker and connect my lightning rods to a chest, for automate purposes of course. I donate 5 gold star butternut squash, a blueberry, a melon, and a regular butternut squash, finishing off the summer crops bundle as I do. I grab my 44 salal berry seeds and a joja berry starter and plant them all. I've got some speed grow, so I sprinkle that on the salal berries, or some of them at least. Level 10 in farming has been achieved, so I choose the perk that allows crops to grow 10% faster. I also was able to make 75,000 gold today. Sensational. 5 gold star pieces of corn have been acquired on day 43, and I got all of these from mixed seeds. That's just another reason why I hold these seeds in such high regard. It really is a shame that they're not too useful without the remixed seeds mod, as you can only get certain crops from them in vanilla Stardew Valley. I ask Robin to upgrade the barn and I buy around 1,500 pieces of wood from her. I trade a prize ticket for the Friendship 101 book. This will very slightly increase the amount of friendship points we earn with the villagers. I buy 150 pieces of coal and bust open some geodes. One of them contains a prismatic shard. I buy 200 copper ore, donate the prismatic shard along with a few other artifacts, and make 9 tappers. I only need copper bars and wood to make tappers, so they're not difficult to make or anything like that. But I am going to need 50 of them for all of the trees I planted on the farm. So that's 2,000 wood and 100 copper bars. Marnie isn't at home, so I consider stealing some hay. I don't though, I don't know why I installed the shoplifter mod. I can't actually bring myself to steal from these people. Or most of them at least. I place tappers on 9 of the 10 oak trees and I check the chest that's linked to both the tree farm and the lightning rods. Currently we have 18 battery packs, so if I can get my hands on just 2 more, then I'll have all 20 I need for Robin to repair the shed. I make 28 more tappers and I place those on the trees. I have a hypothesis I want to test on day 44. I toss some money bags into the seed maker. Nothing happens. Yeah, I was hoping they would make money tree saplings. I wonder if you can even get money tree saplings, or if you're just stuck with the one money tree. Maybe we'll find out at some point in the future, who knows. I donate corn to the community center and I buy the birch syrup recipe from Pierre. I once again do not steal anything from Gustavo. It was tempting, I mean it's a free salad, but no, I couldn't do it. Instead I buy the second backpack upgrade. One more backpack upgrade remains. This wouldn't be the case under normal circumstances, but I have the bigger backpack mod installed. I buy more copper ore, and at this point I started to wonder why I didn't just go through the skull caverns or the mines to get the copper ore and need to make tappers. It would have saved me so much money. I make 8 tappers, which still is not enough to cover all of the trees. I need 5 more, just 5 more tappers, and then I can finally take it easy. I do the sensible thing for once and I spend the remainder of the day in the mines collecting copper ore as opposed to buying it. Jody has sent us some quality fertilizer on day 45, that is a good start, and I keep the ball rolling by making 7 tappers. I collect 2 aged legend row and plop the tappers onto the 5 remaining trees. It feels really good to finally have that done and out of the way. I ask Marnie to add a goat and 2 ducks to the farm. Joyce, Noreen and Matteo have all joined the family. But I'm not done. I buy 1 more duck before leaving. The Oracle has blessed the coop with its presence. I collect cactus fruit and coconuts in the desert before doing a bit of fishing in the pond here. I catch a sandfish and a scorpion carp. That second one can be very tricky at the best of times, so I'm very glad I was able to catch it. A smorgasbord of forage is waiting for me at the beach. Call me Solo Sequoia the way I'm taking it all. Actually, you know what, now that I've mentioned him, I want to talk a little about him at WrestleMania. I feel like Solo really does deserve a WrestleMania match. On the one hand, I want it to be him versus Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania because it's going to be a fantastic match, but I also don't want that match to happen because it more than likely means Solo is getting kicked out of the bloodline. That's going to be so sad to watch. Anyhoomst, I donate the sandfish, completing the specialty fish bundle. I bump into Linus outside his tent and he teaches me how to make wild bait. This is a bit of a thank you for me treating him with kindness. Wild bait, when attached to a fishing rod, gives you a chance to catch 2 of any fish you hook. That would have been very handy when I was in my fish smoking era, but I mean, who knows, maybe I'll go back to tossing fish into the smoker soon. I've just realized I haven't entered the north of the map yet. This area contains the bathhouse, Susan's farm, a graveyard, and most importantly, a boulder. It's blocking me from accessing the staircase behind it, so I will absolutely be doing my best to get rid of that boulder as soon as I can. Day 46 is spent exclusively in the Skull Caverns. I wasn't trying to make it really far down or get a bunch of ore. I'm just trying to get more and more used to being in here. I did end up getting a prismatic shard and a decent amount of the various ores and geodes. And I found a seafoam pudding in a treasure chest. Demetrius has received an item whose name I cannot pronounce for his birthday on day 47. Marlin and the wizard have also received a gift, not because it's their birthday, it's not, it's just because. I hand over the 4th and final dwarf scroll to Gunther and I unlock the translation guide. Clinton, ever the reliable person, cracks open some geodes for me. I think I was most excited about the 10 pieces of coal. I gave an amethyst to the dwarf and I talked to them for the first time. It doesn't look like they're selling anything new, but that's okay. Marlin has made a big decision. It is time for me to meet Krobus. They are a shadow person living in the sewer beneath Pelican Town. This is why I worked so hard on Marlin's friendship specifically. When you reach 5 hearts of friendship with him, he brings you to meet Krobus, as opposed to vanilla Stardew Valley where you receive the key to the sewer after donating 60 items to the museum. I donate a red cabbage to the community center, shout out to the remixed seeds mod for helping me with that one. I receive a prize ticket and I spend the rest of the day in the Skull Caverinos. I think it's time to expand our field of crops on day 48, and so I make 22 sprinklers and plop them down. I gallivant around the secret woods, gotta make sure I'm consistently gathering hardwood. From there I make my way into the forest where I join in on today's event, the Trout Derby. This is I would say it's a relaxing event. The entire goal is just to catch rainbow trout. Every trout has a chance to have a golden tag attached to it. You can trade these tags in for prizes. I put my fishing experience to good use and I remain here for the rest of the day. I trade 8 tags in for the following items: a tent kit, a diamond, a decoration for the house, deluxe bait, triple shot espressos, a quality sprinkler, farm warp totems, and omni geodes. I make 18 more sprinklers before the night is over. A beautiful field of summer forage greets me on day 49. After harvesting all of them, I make 370 seeds. This is rather good timing considering the sprinklers I placed here yesterday. Sophia saw me entering the sewer yesterday. She wants to know if that's why I am so stinky. Excuse me? I give a horseradish to Krobus and buy a void egg. I wanted to buy the star drop, but I am 9,000 gold short of being able to afford it. More fishing is on the agenda. I catch our 3rd legendary fish, the mutant carp. This one was nowhere near as bad as the crimson fish. Out of all of the fish I've caught so far, that one was definitely the most difficult. Even more so than the legend. In fact, I would say the legend was easy to catch compared to the crimson fish. I earn a prize ticket, and at this point I'm leaning towards not talking about receiving them anymore. Maybe I'll only talk about when I trade them in at Lewis's house. I toss a void egg into the incubator in the coop, and that is it for today. Pierre has sent us over 3,000 gold on day 50. I am incredibly sus of this. Apparently it's his way of, thanking us for being such a good customer and helping the community. I'm going to do something I don't do often. I'm going to take this at face value. Thank you for the money, Mr. Pierre the Platypus. Crimson Fish Roe has been produced. Yoink. I also grab an oak resin and a pine tar, say hello to the villagers in Pierre's shop, and trade a ticket for 12 bombs. I give an amethyst to the dwarf for their birthday, and I ask Robin to upgrade the barn for the 2nd time. Up in the north, I meet Marlin at the graveyard. He was basically paying his respect to the adventurers who protected this town and the valley before us. He also wants us to join in on the regular meetings he has with the wizard. I immediately say yes. Give me the lore, please. I wish to know all of the backstory and the current events and gossip. Clinton is here too. Mayor Lewis has asked him to get rid of the boulder we spotted here a few days ago. I offer to give him a hand, so he tells us to meet him at a shop where we shall discuss what he needs from us. I donate a pine tar, completing the exotic foraging bundle. All we have left in the foraging room now are the fall and winter foraging bundles. An oak resin has also been handed over. Turning our attention back to Clinton, he needs 20 coal and 20 iridium ore. That's not too bad actually, especially if you compare it to the 24 copper and iron bars that Gil wants. Or the absolutely ludicrous amount of items Robin wants. I introduce myself to Sandy in the desert. She is the owner of Oasis. The shop, not the band. Interestingly enough, she is now selling different types of gems because of the Everyone Sells Everything mod. I feel like I'm saying the name of that mod too often, but I just want to clarify why each shop may look different. It's not because of the Stardew Valley Expanded mod. I find a hat in a chest on floor 13 of the Skull Caverns. I didn't even realize I've been going hatless this entire time. I put it on my head and, it looks cool and all, but nothing will ever beat my beloved deluxe pirate hat. It's going to be quite a while before I even get the chance to get that hat though, as we have to complete the community center first. The rest of the day is spent in these caverns collecting iridium ore for Clinton. I throw 24 copper bars into the chest beside the minecarts on day 51. We still have to drop 24 iron bars off too, so there's still a bit more work to be done here. 20 pieces of coal and iridium ore have been delivered to Clinton, completing his request. The museum is looking absolutely sterling if I do say so myself. It looks like we've got 57 items in here if I've counted correctly. I drink a coffee and I eat a crab cake for a +2 speed boost and spend the day in the Caverinos. I find an iridium sprinkler on floor 30, nice. Not only are we getting the various ores, we're also making substantial progress on our mining and combat levels. The dwarf pays a visit to the farm right as I'm about to go to sleep. He has a proposition for me. And that proposition is to be revealed to me tomorrow instead of tonight. I don't know why he can't just tell me right now, but I mean, what can you do? I've hit level 9 in combat and unlocked some new crafting recipes. The Iridium Band, Hero Elixir, Bombardier Elixir, and the Squid Ink Ravioli dish. Lovely stuff. I start the morning off by eating a crab cake on day 52. I utilize the handy speed boost it gives to get to the dwarf in record time. According to the dwarf, there is a cave on our farm that leads to the desert. It is currently blocked off, but they can clear the entrance to it for us. That is wonderful news, but what isn't wonderful news is that they want 36 diamonds in return for doing this. I beg your pardon, 36 diamonds? I could give 10 diamonds to Clinton and he would happily open up that cave for me. Or Demetrius, he would probably do it for free if I let him do some science experiments inside there. I am shocked, I am appalled, but above all else, I will give him the 36 diamonds at some point because having a shortcut to the desert would actually be really useful. I deposit all of the hardwood and stone that is needed into the box in the shed along with 18 of the 20 battery packs. I also put 24 iron bars into the chest beside the minecart, so Gil should fix that for us within the next couple of days. I donate a maple syrup to the bulletin board, crack open geodes, continue working on the museum collection, and exchange 2 tickets for a sports hat and a dehydrator. Gustavo is selling the cooking recipe for candy. I will have to keep that in mind as I need a candy for the community center. I buy a milk pail for Marnie and I finally get my hands on some milk. I don't know why I waited so long to do this. I make 2 cheese presses, 2 mayonnaise machines, a bee house, a keg, and a preserves jar. I place these machines down and toss the relevant items into them. Cheese, goat cheese, jelly, and honey will all be produced, and I believe I need all of these items for the community center. Day 53 begins with a visit from Marlon. He's really just here to confirm that Gil will work on the minecarts today and it will be ready tomorrow. Salal berries have been harvested, which means we just got our main source of energy back. I receive a large milk from one of my cows, which I shall donate to the community center. Just not today, as I'm going to be in the Skull Caverns for the remainder of the day. The mission here was to find diamonds. I found like 2 of them at the most. Yeah, that was kind of disappointing. I did collect a bunch of ore though, so that was a nice little, way to soften the blow. Our chance of finding coal has been doubled, thanks to us reaching level 10 in mining. The game lets me know that an explosion has taken place at the railroad on day 54. That would be Clinton, I imagine. He's probably getting rid of the boulder that was up there. A monster fruit has been harvested for the first time in this playthrough. These look really cool. They're definitely one of my favorite crops aesthetic-wise for sure. I needed 5 gold star melons for the community center, and I am pleased to announce that I got a lot more than that. Geodes and mystery boxes are being cracked open. Nothing too noteworthy is being received. It's the usual stuff really. Warp totems, seeds, quality fertilizer, those kind of things. I buy some iron ore and coal from Clinton, followed by more coal. The traveling cart is selling a garlic seed. I will take that, thank you very much. Cheese, goat cheese, gold star melons, a large milk, and a duck egg have all been donated. Sure enough, the boulder in the north has been removed. I head up the stairs and I find myself at the summit. I do a bit of foraging up here, finding things like goldenrod and red mushrooms. Before the night ends, I toss 2 more battery packs and 50 iron bars into the chest in the shed. And that is everything Robin wants from us. Money bags and roe are tossed into the shipping bin along with mayonnaise. Day 55 begins with some great news from Robin. She's going to work on the shed today and have it fully repaired and ready to use tomorrow. I harvest more salal berries than I know what to do with, which is a spectacular problem to have. I ask Marnie to add 2 pigs to the farm. I named them Joey and Tiger. I make over 70 quality fertilizer. I'm planning on sprinkling this stuff on my salal berries. The normal berries are good, but gold star ones will give us even more energy and health when we eat them. I make 14 iridium sprinklers, buy a few hundred wood from Robin as I'm too lazy to chop down trees right now, and give all of my summer seeds to Pierre. For a price, of course. I'm not giving them to him for free. I use the money he gives me to fund the upgrading of the coop. I am very pleased to announce that the coop and the barn are now fully upgraded. Well, technically the coop will be fully upgraded on day 57, but, I still have to get diamonds, 12 more of them to be exact. I may have given one away as a gift, which I kinda regret, but hey, what can you do? I spend the day in the mines where I find a massive 2 diamonds. And here we are on day 56, the final day of summer. We're basically halfway through our first year here in Stardew Valley already. Time is really flying by. The void egg I put into the incubator has hatched and produced a void chicken. I call this chicken Solana. I enter the newly refurbished shed and say hello to Robin. She's done a splendiferous job on this place, I must say. There's even a greenhouse upstairs too. I place 6 iridium sprinklers down. This is the perfect amount to ensure that every seed in here will be watered. I sprinkle quality fertilizer over the dirt and I plant my salal seeds on it. Like I said yesterday, gold quality salal berries will be the perfect source of health and energy for us, so hopefully we get a bunch of those every time we harvest these. Joja berry starters and coffee beans are also planted up here. I toss a bunch of items into the shipping bin as I'd like to start fall off with at least 60,000 gold if possible. Then I donate a duck feather, honey, jelly and a large goat milk. Before going to sleep, I attend my favorite festival in the entire game. That festival being the Dance of the Moonlight Jellies. And that is it for summer. What a marvelous season it was. Let's keep the ball rolling and have even more fun during fall. Until then, I believe there is only one more thing left for me to say. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.